How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for taking the time today.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking.
So tell me, what are you currently doing philanthropically, and what got you involved in this?
Well, philanthropically on my own, besides from StubHub, I worked with my father actually on a campaign for the past year and a half. It was called On the Line. It was to help create awareness for prostate cancer. My dad is a prostate cancer survivor, and we just found, there's so many people. One in 6 men are infected and are by prostate cancer. And the conversation to just talk about it is very difficult with men and women. And women have done such a great job with breast cancer awareness and making it something comfortable for men to talk about. So, my dad and I have done that. I've done a bunch of just kind of random things. My friends kind of joke around and call me Mother Teresa because I always have different ideas and just things that I want to do and help out. And this summer with ESPN was my first summer I took off, and I ended up attending a lot of charity events and just trying to give back.
That's wonderful. And so you're currently tell me about the Girls Night Out.
Girls Night Out is obviously this big, I was going to say program, but it's not. What would you guys call this? Program? Campaign? Yeah, campaign. I like that better. It's this big campaign, obviously, with StubHub. Yeah, and for 2 things I was very attracted to this whole ordeal was, first of all, women in sports. That means a lot to me. I don't think women get a lot of credit for what passionate and educated fans they are. I grew up in the South, which is the SEC conference, and the women that are fans of those teams, I will tell you, know more than the men do. And I don't know if you saw the movie The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, but the scene in the movie, and that's actually part of the SEC, where Michael Orr ended up attending college at Ole Miss. The scene in the movie where Sandra Bullock calls the high school coach on the sidelines and asks him what he's doing and why doesn't he change the play. That is Southern women to a T. They love their sports and they know their sports. And obviously StubHub is catering to them and asking them, hey, if you want to plan a girls' night out, if you want to plan a girls' afternoon out at the football stadium, come to us. We'll get your tickets for you and let you guys go and have your day. The other part of this is obviously that they are helping out charities as well. Proceeds, portion of the games that you can go to StubHub.com and check out the games that they're doing. Portion of that will go to a charity of choice. And I decided to choose TAPS, which is the Tragedy Assistance Program for survivors. I was just, talking to these guys in here why I decided to do it. At the time that we were looking to help out a charity, the tragedy that just occurred with Team 6, with the Navy SEALs. And obviously a good, we know a lot about Team 6 because of what they did with bin Laden and the work that they did over there. But it provides a relief. It provides assistance to families that have lost someone, that are servicemen or women. And when my father and I actually went on the website and we started looking at this, we saw that the waiting list was like 500 kids to go to this. It's a place for them to go and grieve and to be with other kids and just to talk about losing someone that they loved. And I think that's so important. I watched a lot of videos on it, and your heart goes out to them because not only are their parents heroes, but these kids are actually heroes too because they lived a life not a lot of us understand.
Right, exactly. So that's great. So tell me more about. I know what you're saying about Southern women knowing their sports. Is that how you got involved in sportscasting? Because that's an unusual career for a woman.
It used to be. It's not anymore. It's actually one of the most popular things that women, one of the most popular occupations women want to be a part of. The reason why I'm into sports, I'm a daddy's girl, and my dad is a huge sports fan. And I grew up sitting on the couch with my dad, and he introduced me to the teams that he loved and the players that he cheered for. And I just became a big fan of theirs. And, since I was probably 5 years old, we have memories of just cheering for the teams that he loved. And I said, you know what, Dad, I want to do this for a living. And I went to the University of Florida. I was around a great sports program there, and it just kind of blew up and took off. And we didn't think it would happen this quickly.
Wow, that's amazing. And so I know you want to encourage women to get out and see more sports. What benefit does this bring to you feel?
To my field?
No, do you feel, what benefit does it bring to women to go out and participate as people who, as fans?
Well, first of all, for the StubHub side of things, if they go out and they decide to buy the tickets to these selected games, then, like I said, the portion of the money will go to this charity, which is a big deal for us, obviously, because we'd like to raise as much money as possible for this charity. And another thing, it's, I don't know if we hope it does anything for women, but I think it's great of StubHub to actually celebrate the female sports fan. Because when you think of sports, you think of the men and the guys that go and they tailgate, but women are just as passionate. And I think this is actually saying, hey, we know you're out there, we know you're big fans, and we want you to get out there and enjoy a night. Go have a girls' night for once.
And what's your favorite sport and sports team?
My favorite sport, because I'm from the South, is college football. We obviously are very passionate about it at ESPN. It's like the Super Bowl every week. I went to the University of Florida, so, obviously you're around it for 4 years. You have your degree from there, so that's where I'm an alum of. But I think one of the cool things about my job is that you go to your school, you think it's the greatest school ever and nothing compares. And then you go to an environment that I was just in Saturday night at Michigan Stadium, a night game. They're taking on a historic rival like Notre Dame, and you're like, this is really awesome here. You go to places like the University of Texas, and you're like, wow, what a great place to go to school. So, we're not really allowed to be fans of any particular school. We have to be very unbiased in our reporting. But I'm really a fan of all colleges. They all have something special and exciting about their tradition that you can see why the people that are devoted to their schools, you can see why they're such big fans.
And going back for 1 second to TAPS.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in New York yesterday during 911? And how was that?
I actually was, and it was a little tough for me to come. I was coming from Detroit, and I was very nervous about being here. And I'm somebody that in my career, I work with men. I'm not really afraid of much. You can't hold me down. But I was very nervous to come here yesterday. And my family had asked me to just maybe think twice about going. And I finally came and sat in my hotel, and I was a little scared, but then I talked to a couple friends, and they said, just go out. Like, why don't you just go walk on the street and just go be amongst everyone and just see what the vibe is and how everybody's doing. And it was wonderful. It was an emotional day. It was interesting to just kind of sit back and watch everybody, walk around and how they were interacting. But yeah, I mean, it was hard not to turn on the television yesterday and get choked up and even cry at some of the commercials they had. I think even Budweiser had this Clydesdale commercial where they bowed down, and I just lost it. But it was interesting to be here. It was a little nerve-wracking, but it was interesting.
Great. Do you have anything else to add that I haven't asked?
No. Anything else? The one thing I think I would like to say about the program that they're also doing, they're also giving away a VIP experience. And not only, you don't have to buy the tickets to the game to be a part of this VIP experience. It's actually a contest they're running for each of the games that they've selected. You can go to StubHub.com and check that out. And all you have to do is enter the contest. And when you enter it in, I think they ask you a few questions, and then you have a chance to actually get sideline passes to these games, which are difficult. I know if I even try to get a sideline pass for some friends through ESPN, that doesn't happen. But yeah, you get a VIP experience to these games that were chosen. So people check that out as well. It's worth them going to the website.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.